Welcome to the Xbox briefing E3 2019 reaction video.
Yes.
Corey and Ed, we are here to discuss the Xbox briefing, and holy cow, Ed, I am excited. This was a great conference.
Yes, it was. A great start to E3.
Yeah, it was awesome. I want to say that Halo trailer was awesome. First of all, I don't even know what to say about it. It was awesome. This whole conference was awesome. The Gear stuff was awesome. The escape mode and Gears looks great.
Yes.
Man, wow. Ed, what are your quick thoughts on it, real quick, just as an overall conference?
Very strong. They came with the games. They didn't do exclusives. They didn't drag this out. They was hitting like game for game for game. Some people came out, said what they had to say, and they moved on. So they really had a strong and balanced conference. You know, seeing Keanu Reeves.
Oh gosh,
pretty much.
That got me more excited for Cyberpunk than what I watched last year of Cyberpunk. Like I know like a lot of people are really excited for Cyberpunk. I don't know if I'm one of those people yet who's excited. I want to see what the game is before, like,
yes.
You know, like, because I mean, CD Projekt's been making Witcher games for 15 years. You know, I want to see what a first-person action RPG looks like from them. Clearly a shooter, clearly a choice-based RPG, but I want to see what they're doing. But like, it was so cool because like after the demo, they showed you in a junkyard. I'm assuming you're in a junkyard because of all your modifications. They just send people to junkyards now instead of burying them.
And it seems that the character that was in the trailer, it seems that he survived, and Keanu Reeves like wakes him up.
Yeah.
So,
that was cool.
I'm still somewhat hesitant about this game, and we talked about it a little bit in when we were reviewing the conference. Is that they're trying to sell people on these cutscenes, but they're not selling anyone on the gameplay, and that's the concerning part to me. It's just that I want to see actual controller head gameplay, not from what they showed last time, because that was still CGI. That wasn't actual gameplay footage. So I want to see what happens when this game is actually run. I know it's going to probably sell a ton. I know Jesse is interested in it. This is the one for me, like, it's a wait and see. But it looks interesting. I'm still getting like Shadowrun vibes from it, from the like Super Nintendo days. I'm getting that vibe from it, but I want to see where it goes. But I want to see actual gameplay for it first.
Yeah, let's see. Let's see. They let off with Outer Worlds, which looks great. It's Obsidian's new game. It looks cool.
It's very BioShock-ish.
It looks like aesthetically, it looks like BioShock with Fallout gameplay.
Yes,
is what it looks like.
But I am buying Outer World. That looks really good, like up my alley. I really like how it looks and plays. So I'm probably going to end up buying that one.
Yeah. So they showed that, and then they went into Ninja Theory's game, which,
yes,
interesting. It looks interesting. Obviously, Game Pass players are going to be able to play it, day one. So they're going to have a huge built-in audience anyway for that game. Interesting take on what because they've made single-player action games, almost their whole existence, right? You got DMC, you got Enslaved, you got Hellblade, Heavenly Sword. So like going from that to a 4v4 action game, very, very, very interesting. So, yeah, I mean, the art style looks cool. The combat, I'm sure, is going to be amazing. I really believe in their combat every time. So, it's super, super interesting to see them take that combat into a multiplayer setting.
It's one of those. To me, like, this kind of feels like the evolution of Melee games, and not discrediting Smash Brothers or anything, but I'm just like, I talk about action style games and how I love them. And now to actually play against people maybe in France or in Japan and stuff to test out their skill versus mine, to see how we all understand a simple combat system and how we could just make it, you know, like just in depth. It's gonna be really fun. It's gonna be really good. I'm probably gonna lose a lot of matches, but I'm like, I want to use slow and how the power dynamic happens with that. I want to use fast type to see like what combo inputs and stuff will make me a better fighter. So I'm excited for this one.
Yeah, yeah, I think it looks cool. I mean, I like Ninja Theory a lot. I want to see,
Yes.
I want to see what a multiplayer game looks like from them. A class-based multiplayer game looks like from them. Hopefully, I hope people support this game. I hope people, you know, the thing too is like this is a project they've been working on for a few years, you know, and they said they have what 3 or 4 projects in the works for Microsoft. So
Yes.
that right there gets me excited too. Is like this isn't the only thing they're working on, because I really do want to see another, maybe not a Hellblade style game, but definitely a single player action experience from them again.
What they did with Enslave, not so much as DMC. Like Enslave wasn't was Enslave level based?
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah, it was definitely level based. But yeah,
Yeah, I think if they could do something still to that style and connect everything, you know, just kind of to make a linear game and still, because they're good storytellers, they're good writers and stuff. I just think that for whatever their next game would be, they can still maintain that action style, but really like tell a story and like just don't interrupt it with this is the next chapter or stuff. You know, merge storytelling with gameplay and stuff. And I think they'll be good to go. I think their next game after this one will definitely be for Scarlet.
yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. But I mean, technically, this will be for Scarlet too, because everything is backwards compatible. So
Yeah.
Yeah, so they showed that, and then they showed a bunch of Cyberpunk, and then they went into the indie stuff. You know, they had a huge indie selection, and then they showed off Gears, which I was really excited for. Gears looks great, although my concern is that I thought they were going to show an extensive hands-on demo with it, which they might show later in the week through a different thing, but a lot of their trailers, everything they showed except for the Halo trailer at the end was a CG trailer,
Yes.
which was very,
Concerning.
I wouldn't say concerning, but it was a little disappointing. I would say I was a little disappointed in it.
Concerning as in that I feel like they had time to get something created and done and put out there, and they did it. Even like the Jedi Fallen Order, you would think that they would have more to show at E3 for Microsoft, and they really didn't. They just show some different cutscenes that EA didn't show. I was expecting to get another level running on Xbox One X. Or something.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm excited for Gears either way. I didn't really like the intro that they showed, you know, with Kate kind of going through all the kind of it looked like
emotions and going through the consciousness. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, and like I understand that that's what the story's about, but I would have liked to seen an impactful scene of her with one of the other characters going through that instead of like this weird CG thing where she kind of was like, am I evil? Am I not? Am I going to follow the footsteps of the Queen? Am I going to follow the footsteps of Marcus and JD? You know,
and that now, I feel like now that looks like they're going back to a level based game, stage based game, instead of the open world that we were hoping for. That they would go.
Yeah. So, I mean, you know, I'm still interested in Gears coming out way earlier than I expected. September. What'd they say? September 10?
September 10th.
So,
September 10th. Yeah.
Way earlier than I thought it was going to. So that's exciting. But you know, I am really happy that we're getting another Gears game, to be honest, and
Yes.
I hope they change our expectations. One of the other games I want to talk about before we kind of talk about the big Scarlet stuff is Halo Infinite. I was kind of confused at first, but then I was like, man, why? Like, who is this guy? Why is he finding Chief in the middle of space, and then he kind of hooks Chief up to some wires and stuff and recharges him, reboots him, which is kind of what they're going for, like a spiritual reboot of Halo, right? And Riley's in the background. That spiritual reboot, which is kind of what they I think was what they intended from this trailer, was like, we're rebooting Master Chief in a sense, where they kind of hooked him up to all the power cords and everything.
Funny thing to me, like, it felt like a Metroid Prime game. It's weird, but I was just like, I understand rebooting Master Chief, but I'm like, this could be the same thing with Samus.
Yeah.
And I'm not mad at that at all.
No, I'm not. I'm really excited. It really gave off a lot of Halo 2 vibes, to be honest with you, with him, like with the Pelican opening in the back and him jumping down out into space at the very end, and the new Halo ring. I want to know, is that a new Halo ring? Is Cortana building a new Halo ring? Has she been infected somehow? You know what I mean? Like, I know, like, Cortana has been rampant through Halo 4 and 5, but at the end where he's in looked like a Halo control room, taking out the chip out of the back of his helmet, that I want to play through Halo so bad.
I think it's with the experience one. I think that they had in Mexico last year. Hopefully they have again this year. I think we'll get more detail because I want to see gameplay. I want to see.
You know what I'm kind of surprised, honestly, is that one of their major games that they're releasing, which actually doesn't really make sense now that they have Game Pass, but like, I wonder if they'll release a Halo open beta on Game Pass at some point next year, early next year.
With PC, yes. Mm-hmm. I have a feeling they should. The best time to do it will probably be at E3 next year.
Yeah.
But if they could find a moment where gaming is quiet, do it there, because they would get the buzz and they would get people looking forward to, like, maybe picking up their system just to play that Halo beta or something. And definitely if they're trying to market the all S digital one, mm-hmm. That would be a good thing for them.
Yeah.
Which they didn't talk about, and they didn't really talk about any kind of console deals or anything.
Nope. Not a lot of major third party games in this conference either. No, I mean, like, they showed some, but not a lot. They showed Phantasy Star, which was really surprising. They showed From Software's new game, which, again, another CG trailer. I'm really like I'm reiterating, like, I don't understand the CG stuff. Like, why don't you just show us some of the games? Which, partially because I think a lot of these games aren't coming out this year, or are coming out late this year, early next year.
Yeah, a lot of 2020s.
So I mean, I would have liked to seen a few more like that, but not a lot of major AAA third party games. No Assassin's Creed, no Watch Dogs, no Ghost Recon, super surprising. No Division stuff, which was super surprising. Which I get that Ubi wants to kind of keep that probably for theirs, but they've always double dipped. No Avengers, no Square stuff, no. I mean, the only major third party thing they showed, I think, was Star Wars, right at the beginning.
Yeah, Star Wars.
They showed Star Wars, they showed Lego Star Wars, and they showed Cyberpunk, were the major AAA third-party games that they showed. That was it. Right?
Tale of Arise and Elden Ring.
And Elden Ring. But, I mean, I wouldn't even consider Tales like a major third-party.
Yeah. Cause okay, so the Blair Witch one.
Oh yeah,
I'm assuming that's indie.
yeah. I mean, I would. I mean, it's the same thing. It's probably the same thing as that Predator thing that we were talking about for PlayStation, right? Where it's kind of like a smaller studio who had an idea, they got a license for it, and Microsoft might be funding it a little bit, because it's coming to Game Pass. So
Right.
that's what I'm assuming. I don't. I mean, I don't think it's a multiplayer thing at all. I think
Oh,
I think it might be a horror based roguelike, to be honest with you.
probably. Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. That was a major one. From Bandai Namco. That's when you went to the bathroom, Corey.
Yeah.
So that was the Project Dragon Ball Z game. It turned into that. But yeah. It's very weird. It not a Nintendo Direct, but it was just like in this conference they feel like they supported a lot of indies, which is great. Um, but yeah, but Ubisoft, I think Ubisoft probably didn't have much to show for their conference.
See, I
so
think
they saved
Ubisoft has.
everything.
I think Ubisoft has a ton to show.
Across the platforms, yes, but I think if they would have showed it at like at Microsoft conference, I think that would have probably be like 40% of their conference. And then probably they'd be like, you know what, let's not show anything, let's do the reveal. And definitely with Square Enix, we talked about it. Like they learned, hopefully they learned their lesson, not to show nothing, not to announce anything, because everything that they showed before their conference started was the same thing that we seen in their conference.
Yeah.
So Square Enix was probably like, you know what, we're gonna back off because we want to surprise you guys correctly.
Yeah. So I mean, was we only have a few more minutes here.
Can we talk about I think one of the most disappointing thing was this Battletoads game.
Yeah. Let's
What
talk about
is-
Battletoads. Let's not talk about Battletoads. It was
I would say this, or if you go back to watching Ori and the Will of the Wisp art style, and then look at Battletoads, and you would be like confused.
Battletoads looks like an early Xbox 360, Xbox Live Arcade kind of.
I like how you mentioned that it looked like the new Ninja Turtles TV show.
It does. Like it looks bad. I'm sorry. Like I mean, I'm not like a huge Battletoads guy or anything, but that game looked bad. And for people that are really excited for Battletoads, like
Yes.
probably going to be a little bit disappointed. Like you know what I mean? Like it looks like that. It just looks pretty. I don't like the art style. I don't like the way the combat looks. It looks like a bad Cartoon Network late night cartoon that nobody watches.
We categorize it as generic.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You're right. It's yeah. Man, I'm rewatching this Halo trailer. It looks awesome. I can't wait, dude. It's clearly a Master Chief in a. It looks like he's wearing the Halo 2 armor, is what it really looks like. So I can't wait for Halo Infinite. It looks great.
And then it looked like it jumped when they switched it to Master Chief's face. It looked like it switched to actual gameplay.
Yeah.
Because it looked like it was running at 60 frames per second. And I'm just like, okay, it looks really, really good. They probably didn't put all the details and stuff into it.
And I'm sure this demo is running on a high-end PC as well.
Yes.
Or
Well,
whatever the Scarlet's specs are. Which, by the way, let's end this with talking about Scarlet.
Yes.
Because that was the major announcement at the end, right before they showed Halo, which they're launching Halo alongside Scarlet. No surprise there. They're aiming for. They said that Scarlet could probably output 120 frames a second, which means that they'll probably be aiming for 60 on most games. 4K support, probably 8K at some point with some sort of update. 4 times more powerful than Xbox One X, and clearly backwards compatible with Xbox One and 360 and whatever's backwards compatible on Xbox One now. So, very, very cool. I'm very excited for Project Scarlet. It sounds like this console is going to cost about $1,000, like just based on the specs, and which means they're going to have to take a loss selling this console.
I'm going for 500. I'm thinking 500.
I mean, Yeah, 500's fine. 500 is what I expect the most powerful console in the world to be, right? I mean, that's what
Yes.
Xbox One X is theoretically, unless you find it on sale somewhere. Uh, my major question is, what are how are Xbox Game Studios games going to utilize that power? Is there going to be how are we going to see that power come to fruition? Is it going to be through AI? Is it going to be through? I mean, there's only so much more we can do with graphics, right? I mean, there's not much.
This
I mean, games look fantastic already, and especially
yeah.
with indies or games taking
Can,
art different art directions and everything.
can I tell you, the leading company to do anything with Scarlet is going to be Ninja Theory, and only reason why is because they graphically always impress, and the way how they do, how you know
Well, I mean, but
their
their
design.
new game is taking a really different art direction, right?
Yeah, but if they could do something, if they could do something like Hellblade again, if they could do the motion capture and really give a detailed world, doing that on Scarlet, running it in real time like actual gameplay, Ninja Theory would be able to do that with ease.
Hmm.
I don't think 343 Studio or
Halo 5 runs at 4K and 60 frames a second natively. So I mean,
yeah.
I seeing this new art direction, like 60 frames 4K, no problem for them. I don't think it's just I want 343 to get back to like what they were doing when most of that team was part of Bungie and they were doing Halo 2 and 3. Like that's what I
Yeah.
want them to do, right? And it looks like from that Halo trailer and them launching Halo Infinite at the beginning of a console generation, right? It looks like Halo's going to turn into the games of service like they want it to be. There's going to be
Right.
seasonal content, there's going to be I would say light loot elements, customizing your I don't know if you're going to play as Master Chief the whole time. I'm assuming there's going to be a campaign that you play as Master Chief and then you create your own Spartan to go on missions, kind of like what Halo 4 tried to do with their Spartan Ops stuff.
Yeah, and I feel like probably most of Microsoft's. I think the last game for Xbox is probably going to be Psychonauts 2. I
Hmm.
think most of their studios have started development on for Scarlet, so that's why we didn't really get a lot of stuff for Microsoft to sort of say in third party. I
Yeah.
think Microsoft is probably like, okay, we got development kits to our first party, but we're gonna strictly give it out to our third party so they can get ready for Scarlet because they're gonna have at least about 10 games for to have a solid launch. And we
Yeah.
know, and with knowing that Halo Infinite is one of them, you know,
I mean, that sold me right there, right? Halo. I mean, Halo will always sell me on an Xbox because I really like Halo. Uh, you know, Destiny will always sell me on a console. Also, like you know what I mean. Like I like that
yes,
pedigree of shooter. So I mean,
and
I think they're gonna have a strong launch.
yeah,
Minus
I agree.
third party. Like I think Halo's a solid one. Uh,
If
it's just gonna be weird with how much of this is cross buy, cross play.
yeah.
That's the other question which we need to talk about on a future episode of an X show or something, or an
Yeah.
expansion pass or something.
If Microsoft could get at least 4 first party strong titles for Scarlet, and the other 6 could be anything from indie to third, whatever. I think they would be in a good place.
Yeah.
You know, you get Halo, you get something from Ninja Theory, you get Forza, or not so much Gears, but you get probably one of the third parties like Outer World of 8K edition or something like that. You
Yeah.
know, if Microsoft could get that strong standing with them, not only are they going to sell people on definitely with the Game Pass deal that's going on, people still who want physical could still buy physical or buy the digital version, but they could now be well prepared that maybe 4K and 8K. 4K TVs would probably be very reasonable to people for people to buy, so
Hmm.
they'll be good with that. Whenever they decide to run 8K, that's whatever. But if they could get that for Scarlet, I think a lot of people will be like, you know what? I missed out last generation console. I'm gonna get a Scarlet because they really sold me on a lot of games. For me personally, I don't think Halo Infinite sold me on the system just yet. But it's an automatic buy. I'm a buy part of Scarlet already. Like there's no not denying. I don't think there's not a game yet like Rise of the Tomb Raider that sold me on the Xbox One.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Halo Infinite is not doing it just yet. When I see more, because of course I'm gonna buy Halo Infinite. I'd be crazy not to. I think once we see next year's E3 or we see more Halo Infinite, I think a lot of people are definitely going to be sold to be like, yep, I'm gonna get a Project Scarlet and go about that.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna wrap it up here. We're gonna break for some dinner and some, to be honest.
Are we going to wait to the end to rate it, like our end?
Yeah,
shows?
yeah. I mean, we're gonna talk about the shows on next week's NX show.
Okay.
Just in general, like I think we should have a discussion about E3 in general next week on the NX show. But we'll just keep track of what you think the conferences have done. What do you guys think? How do you guys think the Xbox show went? We're gonna take a break here, but you can come back here around 8:30, 8:45 for our pre-show for the Bethesda conference and watch us react to the Bethesda conference and talk about it afterwards. And then maybe we'll talk about some EA stuff from EA Play yesterday afterwards as well. But I want to thank everybody so much for watching and or listening. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe and share. If you're watching on Twitch, just give us that little follow button. And we'll see you in a little bit, guys.
Welcome everybody to E3 2019. Good job, Microsoft.